It sounds to me like it's almost like, and I'm sure Aaron will probably agree, is it sounds to me like you're basing this whole affiliate program off of almost like, and you can say the same about a lot of CrossFit gyms, about discipleship and loving on people is what it, to me, that's resonating with me is what it sounds like I'm hearing.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
All of the original 10 trainers that we have are Christians, and we're all from the same church, and we practice what's called disciple making discipling, which and that's that same idea, right, where you just invest in the next person and then you expect them to invest in the next person. So that's what we do.
Each of you give me an answer of how CrossFit has impacted the community behind bars. Aaron, why don't you go first?
Well, I can, a very good statistic from the law enforcement kind of perspective, which I don't go in there as a cop, but that's obviously a part of my focus. There's been a 25% reduction in violent crime inside of Simon that's had the district attorneys out there and everybody like meeting with the prison saying, what are you guys doing right out here? Because like Eric pointed out, it's a level 4 pretty violent place traditionally, and a 25% reduction based since this program has started. And Eric had some other stuff going there, another program he's generated called GoMap that's got a bigger accountability even than this. But that 25% reduction is, that's not a blip. That's not just like an accident. That's a big deal in a place with a bunch of violent people that are being less so, right?
Yeah.
Because they are being discipled and they're being mentored and they're actually redeeming themselves and trying to make themselves better instead of just doing their time.
Yeah. So Eric, what about you? How has a CrossFit community, how has CrossFit impacted the community behind bars?
Basically, it's just changed the dynamic between segregation, and it's made it okay for people to speak to people that otherwise they just wouldn't have felt comfortable speaking to. So like we saw in the incentive unit, we would see like a guy with an unpopular case who before nobody would talk to. And after a couple workouts where he'd been working out with somebody else, a guy who was popular would talk to him. And then other people who were popular would see that he was talking to him and be like, well, if he's talking to him, it's okay if I do. And then they would talk to him, and then they would meet all of that guy's friends or somebody like that, right? And then it created like a pretty interconnected web. And so like the incentive unit had 150 guys in it when we were doing it. And I would say that at least 120 of them became better connected and started actually caring about other people around there as a direct result of this program.
Cool. Liz, how has CrossFit impacted a community behind bars?
So I think that Redemption Road CrossFit has done a lot of really positive things, but one of the things I think is really important is that it shed a lot of light on forgotten populations in prison and brought it to the community. And oftentimes as humans, I feel like we try to shy away from what's uncomfortable, and we don't want to look behind or under the rug and see all of the dirty things of society, which unfortunately a lot of people classify offenders or prisoners in maximum security facilities as being the dirty or forgotten part of society. And I think that this program has done a really cool thing about rehumanizing people and allowing people from the outside, such as myself, that has never been into a prison before, to be able to go in, throw down with these guys, and realize that it's the exact same as any other CrossFit gym. That the community that everybody has built in Lyman and Fremont and Sterling and all of our other places mimics exactly what you find in a regular CrossFit gym.
Mm-hmm.
And something that's to add to that is, when you're inside, one of the things that really has a big impact on you is when people come from outside because they care, right? And so our program would have never been as successful as it is without having Liz and Aaron and people like them show up. It's one thing for us to tell you, this is how you work out, this is how you live and all of that. But there is always that like ingrained, like, like no prophet is, a prophet in his own hometown, right? He's like, you still always run into that little piece where people are like, yeah, but you're just like me. What do you know? But then you have other people come in, like who are CFL ones and who actually give a damn, and they're like, check this out. This is what we do. By the way, these dudes are telling you the exact same thing. And so there's an added gravitas to having volunteers out there, and it makes the program, much, much stronger. It gives it that reinforcement. And on top of which, none of us were butterflying at all. And then we saw Liz butterfly at this one tournament we had. And I was like, dude, how's that chick doing more pull-ups than me? Like, my pull-up game is on time. How is she just crushing me, right? And she was like, well, I'm butterflying. And I was like, well, what the hell is a butterfly? Right? And so we all started butterflying after that. And so, if it would have just been one guy who was butterflying, like maybe a couple people would have been like, oh, I'll try that. But the idea that you just had your whole ass kicked by this chick is like, well, I need to add that to my game, because, clearly I can't just leave this hanging. Yeah, she could still do it. She could still do it better than me, but at least I can do it now.
That's so cool. All right, so Aaron, to close this out, if people are interested in more information on Redemption Road CrossFit, or giving back to you guys, or the mission and the values and what you're doing in the community behind bars, how can they get a hold of you and how can they give back?
So our website is rf2.org. We're a 501c3. We're completely privately funded. There's not a penny of government money going into this program for the equipment or the training or the seminars. Between the foundation and the offenders, they paid for their own level 1s and level 2s. So we run on people's time and treasure. If we don't expect money from everybody, if you're in the Denver area, or if this thing grows to your area, like Eric pointed out, having people come in and show they care is at least, if not more valuable than the money. But, nobody can get a rower without some money. So if you find us on the social medias or the website, that'd be great.
All right, guys. Well, hey, I really appreciate you coming on and telling me just an awesome story. And Eric and Aaron and Liz, thanks for coming on and telling me an awesome story of everything going on behind bars and how CrossFit is helping a community out. That's so encouraging and is truly a positive story.
Thank you, Jake.
Thanks for having us on.